All right, now to the media's tariff reaction. Who do you trust to handle the economy more? President Trump or Joy Behar? Well, here's what the View co-hosts think about Trump's new tariffs.
He knows nothing about the economy. He just decides, as a narcissistic disorder would, I know better than anybody. Forget about the economists who know better. Forget about people who know history. I alone can fix it.
Have a great day, everyone. Take a little time to enjoy the View. And remember, the resistance is real. You're not alone.
Has anyone else noticed how women on the left are the most miserable group of people? So victimized and oppressed. Go overseas and come back and tell me how victimized you are. And there were studies coming out a while ago saying that women on the left are the most unhappy. Duh. They blame their problems on everyone else. And anytime there is not a problem, they make a problem. Green and blue hair or nose rings, I don't know. Maybe that's contributing. It definitely is. I don't know. They want more attention, but then they complain about the attention they get when they look stupid. I'm sorry for saying it, but looks matter. That's just a fact. They do. And women on the left typically make themselves not look pleasant. And on top of that, they're always fighting for causes that they don't even understand.
These people on The View can't cease to amaze me. Joy Behar knows better. She understands economies. She can manage this more than some, according to what she said. It is crazy. At a certain point, when I look at what these ladies spew on air every single time, they are being destroyed on social media after Joy Behar made this statement. It is insane. When you take a look at how liberals are melting down about this tariff, Kevin tells CNN the people who continue to do this are insane. I don't know if you've seen this. First, take a look at this video.
Can you defend the tariffs?
You know, I try and focus on the signal, not the noise. Harris is not president. Trump is. And if you don't like him 12 years ago, you don't like him now. And I get it. I completely get it. But that's not the issue. Let's talk about the situation here. Reciprocal tariffs that have been put in place, they're basically ours for some countries. We've got 60 countries on the list. Already, you've heard from Thailand, Cambodia, the EU, and Senator Kennedy in Louisiana calling for zero tariffs between Canada and the United States. The whole point is it's a negotiation. And if you can get to zero tariffs, that's the best outcome. That's called free trade. That's 50% of why these tariffs are put on. So I'd argue to you, yeah, I hate volatility. I don't like it when the market corrects, but the market corrects all the time. And it generally goes down 15 to 20%. It's proven over 100 years plus. It's a great buying opportunity. And we just got the jobs numbers. The economy is just fine. Now, maybe you don't like watching sausage being made. Obviously, Trump doesn't care. He's an unusual character that way. A lot of these negotiations are done in private quarters. Trump doesn't care. You saw the first of that with Lewinsky. That's just the way he operates. So I don't care about the noise. I care about the outcome.
Confidence that there is going to be a negotiation reached?
Because there's a good reason to do it. I mean, you got to distinguish the noise versus the signal. I've said this countless times about Trump. Let's take the Canadian situation, which we've been talking about. If you combine those economies, I'm not saying buying the country, but if you combine the economies, which seems impossible to do given the rhetoric and what's going on right now, but the truth is, the signal is it would be much stronger against China if there were no tariffs between Canada and the United States and they had a common currency and they protected the northern border, not the 49th parallel. Now, the Canadians know that's worth it because 75% of their output has been sold to the United States for over 120 years. 17 states call Canada the #1 trading partner. 28 states, in addition to those 17, #2 trading partners Canada. So it'd be economic suicide not to work this out. The obvious answer is to remove all tariffs, and that will happen, my guess is, right after the election when the Canadians make their choice about who they want. But nothing's going to happen on the Canadian situation until the election's over in just over 5 weeks.
Yes, The View should listen this because sometimes they just say things they know little. When you take a look at what Joy Behar said on this video, I don't even know what I'm laughing. Kevin here is making a lot of sense. I saw them encouraging people to go out on the street and demonstrate because of what is going on. We have seen that happening, especially on Saturday. to a level I've not seen before. People came out in thousands. When you look at the whole situations about tariffs, people giving out opinions on this. Some says it is a good idea, some say it's a bad idea. I'm just there. Like, is it gambling? We are going to see the end result of this in the days ahead. Fox News did this segment with Joy Behar. They destroy her like never before. Take a look at this.
I do find it interesting in this conversation, though, about Democrats finding their, free market bona fides all of a sudden. I mean, these are the same party that's been arguing that corporations need to pay higher taxes. I mean, effectively, a tariff is just a tax on corporate activity. That's what it is. And Democrats for years have argued for higher corporate tax rates, and now they're arguing against effectively a tax on corporate activity. I think if I were Donald Trump, I might next week say, you know what? I'll meet you on this. Let's slash the corporate tax rate in half, and it'll mitigate your concerns about the tariffs. I bet you wouldn't find one Democrat who would agree to it, even though it would be an amazing idea.
The resistance is real. You're not alone.
Fox News contributor Joe Concha joins me now. Joe, good morning to you. So 2 comments there, one from Whoopi Goldberg, one from Joy Behar. What is your response to both of them?
Well, both are multi-millionaires who get these lovely car services that take them to and from The View, and then they go off to the Hamptons or to a really, really expensive apartment or complex that we can never afford. So, look, this is the brand of The View now at this point. It's to be the tip of the spear of Les Resistance. And it's a shame that they can't just allow just once a true conservative on there to actually debate, because that may make the show worth watching. I mean, it's this predictable echo chamber, and a boring one at that. I mean, Barbara Walters, when she thought and conjured up The View about 30 years ago, this is not what she thought she'd get. She's getting an angry, well, I guess MSNBC is also angry, but you can't tell the difference between MSNBC and The View at this point. And again, the fact that Joy Behar portrays herself as, an economic guru, and Whoopi Goldberg saying, yes, lead the resistance. I'm sorry, this is just not the fun show that it used to be anymore.
And also, let's listen to what Whoopi said there, her words. The resistance is real. You aren't alone. Rhetorical question. I'm not asking this to you, Joe, but what is she asking the people that watch The View to ultimately do? I get so concerned by these veiled
And also,
points.
Which party is the real resistance when Democrats control the media, Hollywood, and higher education?
Great point, Carly. Excellent point. I have nothing to add to that. That's exactly right.
Left Joe speechless. And Joe, look, we have to acknowledge.
I am without speech.
Yeah, that segment we just had with Jack was extremely heavy. And we're going to lighten it up here significantly with a story that, as Carly knows, I texted her immediately upon hearing this story, because this story is very concerning to the pyro.
Like, seriously, I don't watch this show. At first, I used to pick up videos on social media to react to. When I look through the comment sections, a lot of people are always furious. Like, why are you even doing videos about this? I saw this complaint every single time. I decided to stop. But this, I could not resist, because they actually expressed their stupidity on this video. I'm glad that people are seeing exactly what is going on. This show is unwatchable with this lady, Joy Behar. Being as an expert that can talk about this topic is insane, because I don't see her to be that smart enough to handle this topic. Yeah. People that I even see to be that intelligent, they don't even go there because they have limited knowledge on what is even going on. I saw Ben Shapiro on Facebook just a few hours ago putting out like Trump is gambling. Let's see the end result of what Trump is doing. This is the second time he's putting a post opposing Trump on this issue of tariffs, that Trump did that and succeed. In certain cases, he might as well succeed in this, but I don't see this to be gambling. Let's see. I watched a video just a few hours ago. Argentina president is coming up to sign a deal, free trade, no tariffs, both countries. I believe this is what Trump wants. Will the other people follow through? I don't know. Let's wait and observe.
Ever when they're 4 or 5 years old, and Tangled is
started on how disgraced must these law firms feel now? How disgraced must these companies that are sucking up to him, that are giving him tens of millions of dollars for access. Do you know what's going to happen? Do you know how this ends? Do you know these collaborators with the country is going to feel toward collaborators with this regime? Maybe you need to go in history and see what happened in August of 1944 after Paris was liberated. They didn't take very kindly to the collaborators.
I bet you there are a lot of people that voted for Trump that wish the Common
and a lot of people who
didn't vote.
And finally, new rule to those on the right who keep asking me, Bill, you're so good at roasting the woke nonsense peddlers. Why don't you go all the way and join us? Let me give you the short answer. Because I don't want to live in North Korea.
Thank you guys who is with the sharing out my videos. God bless you abundantly. For clips, if you see that is just for the YouTube algorithm, I usually add you can end here if you want.
Administration isn't exactly getting the hero's welcome.
The fact that the Americans finally realized what the reality was, namely that if they had come here to nuke as planned tomorrow, they would have been met with riots.
This is a Fox News alert, a crushing blow for Democrats who had hoped against hope.
Brad Schimmel, that has included Elon Musk pouring tens of millions of dollars.
I think you saw a repudiation of the fact that...
Do you think the Republican takeaways tonight are going to...
The margin right now, Randy Fine in the lead with 53.7% of the vote against...
I bet you there are a lot of people that voted for Trump that wish the Common
and a lot of people who didn't vote.
Obama, everybody, he had never been to the White House.
Everything you want to hear.
Do you think